The studio lights glow, warm as the band finishes the intro. Music and the applause swells, the kind of applause that rolls like a wave and makes everything feel bigger than it is. Kelly smiles the practiced, welcoming smile she's known for, leaning forward with her cards in hand, while Noah sits across from her, shoulders relaxed but eyes alert. The early questions are easy, about filming schedules, the joy of finishing a long season, the strange feeling of growing up on camera. Noah answers smoothly, his humor landing well with the audience, laughter popping up in the pockets where it's expected. But there's a subtle shift when Kelly pivots the conversation, her tone still friendly, but the questions edging closer to personal territory. She mentions public scrutiny, the pressure of social media, how young stars cope when opinions get loud. Noah's posture changes. He crosses one ankle over the other, fingers lacing together. He answers carefully at first, choosing words like stepping stones across a river. The audience senses it, that tightening of air when a conversation stops being light. Kelly presses a little more, not aggressively, but with the curiosity of someone who believes honesty makes good television. Noah's smile thins, and he responds that some topics are better handled privately, not as sound bites. There's a ripple of murmurs, the band quiet, the laughter gone. Kelly nods, acknowledges his point, but then reframes the question, suggesting that sharing can help others feel less alone. Noah exhales, a small breath into the mic that sounds louder than it should. He says he understands the intention, but he doesn't like being put on the spot. The exchange remains polite, but tension hums beneath it, like an electrical wire. The audience watches closely, eyes flicking between host and guest, sensing that this isn't scripted banter anymore. Kelly tries to lighten the mood with a joke, but it lands awkwardly. Noah's jaw tightens. He looks off stage for a split second, then back. The applause sign flashes uncertainly, unsure what it's meant to do. The segment that started with warmth now feels fragile, as if one wrong word could crack it open completely. As the conversation continues, the warmth doesn't return. Kelly shifts in her chair, adjusting her cardigan, clearly trying to steer things back to safer ground. She asks about upcoming projects, future plans, but the earlier tension lingers like a shadow that won't move. Noah answers, but his voice has changed an Ian edge now, clipped and measured. He glances at the audience less, focusing straight ahead. Kelly, sensing the distance, circles back again, this time with a question about authenticity and public expectation. She frames it as admiration, saying she respects how Noah has handled fame at a young age. But then she adds a comment about responsibility, about how fans look up to him. Noah's eyebrows lift slightly, not in surprise, but in challenge. He says responsibility shouldn't mean obligation to explain every personal feeling to strangers. His words are calm, but the emphasis is sharp. Kelly counters gently, saying platforms come with influence whether one wants it or not. The audience shifts in their seats. A few nervous laughs break out, quickly dying. Noah leans forward now, elbows near his knees, and says influence shouldn't erase boundaries. The exchange grows more intense. Voices still controlled, but emotions clearly involved. Kelly's smile fades into seriousness. She says she's not trying to corner him, just to understand. Noah responds that understanding doesn't require pressure. The band members glance at each other, hands hovering over instruments they're not playing. A producer off stage raises a hand, signaling something, but the conversation barrels on. Kelly tries to de-escalate, suggesting they agree to disagree, but Noah shakes his head. He says the conversation itself proves his point. The audience is silent now, fully aware they're witnessing something unscripted. When Kelly asks if he wants to move on, Noah pauses, looks around the studio, and says quietly that maybe moving on means leaving. The words hang there, heavy. Kelly looks stunned, her mouth opening slightly before closing again. The camera cuts to a wide shot, capturing the moment when entertainment turns into raw discomfort. Noah stands, pushing his chair back slowly so it doesn't screech against the floor. The movement alone sends a jolt through the room. A few audience members gasp. Others lean forward, phones itching to be lifted but held back by studio rules. Kelly rises halfway from her seat, instinctively reaching out with a hand as if to stop him, her voice softening as she says his name. Noah turns toward her, his expression not angry but resolute. He says he appreciates the invitation, the platform, the respect he knows she intends, but he can't continue a conversation that feels like a trap. Kelly responds quickly, saying it was never meant to feel that way, that she's sorry if it did. The apology is genuine, her eyes glossy under the lights. Noah nods, acknowledging it, but doesn't sit back down. He thanks the audience, offering a small, apologetic smile that contrasts with the tension of the moment. The applause comes hesitantly at first, then stronger, a mix of support and shock. Kelly tries once more, asking if they can reset, take a break, come back to it later. Noah shakes his head again, saying sometimes walking away is the healthiest choice. He steps toward the edge of the stage, where a stage manager waits, uncertainty written across their face. The cameras scramble, switching angles, unsure whether to follow or cut away. Kelly stands fully now, watching him go, her hands clasped together. The band plays a soft, confused riff, trying to fill the silence. As Noah disappears backstage, the studio feels suddenly smaller, emptier. Kelly turns back to the audience, taking a breath before addressing them. She explains that conversations can be complicated. That respect goes both ways, and that she hopes viewers understand. Her voice wavers slightly, but she steadies it. The professional in her taking control. The audience applauds again, this time more sympathetically. The moment has passed, but its weight remains, lingering in every corner of the set. Backstage, the atmosphere is entirely different. No bright lights, no applause, just the low hum of activity and the echo of what just happened. Noah walks down the corridor, his footsteps quick but controlled, surrounded by a couple of team members who speak in hushed tones. One asks if he's okay. Noah nods, though his shoulders are tense. He says he didn't plan for it to end that way, but he couldn't stay. A producer approaches, apologetic and flustered, saying they wish things had gone differently. Noah listens, hands in his pockets, then says calmly that sometimes discomfort reveals what needs to change. Meanwhile, back on set, Kelly wraps the segment with grace, thanking the audience for their patience and pivoting to the next guest. The show moves on, but the energy is altered, like a room after a storm. Online, the moment explodes almost instantly. Clips circulate, slowed down, analyzed frame by frame. Some viewers praise Noah for setting boundaries. Others criticize him for walking off. Kelly's fans defend her curiosity and empathy, while others question the line between meaningful conversation and pressure. Headlines form within minutes, dramatic and speculative. Backstage, Noah checks his phone briefly, then hands it to his publicist, saying he doesn't want to see the noise yet. He takes a deep breath, leaning against a wall, eyes closed for a second longer than necessary. He knows this moment will follow him, be discussed, debated, reshaped by countless opinions. But he also feels a quiet certainty beneath the chaos. On set, Kelly finishes the show, smiling through the final applause. But once the cameras cut, she exhales deeply, the weight of the encounter settling in. Two professionals, both with good intentions, collided in a space designed for entertainment, not confrontation. And as the studio empties and the lights dim, the question lingers, not about who was right or wrong, but about how much of ourselves we owe the world when the cameras are on.